Mark Lee's The First Fruit is, in a word, refreshing. It's not just a debut album, it's a full-circle moment that finally brings together the pieces of Mark we've only caught glimpses of over the years. Where many Idol debuts feel manufactured or overly curated, The First Fruit thrives in its rawness, its creative flow, and most importantly, its personality. It's rare for a K-pop solo album to feel this introspective and this human. The production is intimate yet layered, the lyrics hit home without being melodramatic, and every track feels like a chapter from his personal journal rather than a pitch to the charts. The album opens with Toronto's Window, a beautifully bare introduction that lasts just over a minute, but sets the tone perfectly. Over a minimalist piano loop and soft ambient textures, Mark reflects on his childhood, evoking nostalgia without sentimentality. It's a soft-spoken but powerful opener, more spoken word than song, and it instantly pulls you into his world, through that literal and metaphorical window in Toronto. 1999 is a standout. Mark's birth year becomes a frame to explore his identity and where he's from. The beat is playful yet gritty, with lo-fi drums and a jazzy bounce that feels like something out of a late-night Toronto session. His verses are sharp but unforced, weaving Korean and English effortlessly, showing how naturally bilingual rap can be. It's one of those rare K-pop rap tracks that doesn't feel like it's trying to prove something. It just exists comfortably, in its own groove. Flight to NYC is a short interlude that bridges time and space as Mark travels, physically and mentally, from Toronto to New York. There's a jazzy sax loop underneath, and the whole thing feels like a daydream caught mid-flight. It's less about lyrical complexity and more about creating mood, and it succeeds in doing just that. It acts like a connective tissue between chapters, never overstaying its welcome. Righteous is probably one of the most introspective hip-hop moments we've heard from a K-pop idol in a while. The beat is somber and bass-heavy, and Mark uses it to dissect themes of morality, pressure, and staying grounded in an industry that constantly tests your soul. There's frustration in his delivery, but also control. He's not lashing out. He's explaining. This track highlights his ability to talk about serious topics without coming off preachy, which is not easy. Now this is where things get wild. Fraxia is gritty, chaotic, and brimming with attitude. Mark and Lee Young-ji are a natural duo, trading verses like seasoned veterans. The Russian title, meaning informer or spy, adds a layer of intrigue, and both rappers tackle themes of loyalty, betrayal, and staying true in a scene filled with fakes. The production is aggressive and experimental, with glitchy percussions and eerie synths. It's a bold, creative pivot that pays off. Raincover slows things down, delivering a bittersweet reflection on loneliness and memory. It's one of the most melodic tracks on the album, and Mark's singing here, while not pitch perfect, is heartfelt and emotive. The Rainy Day production matches the mood perfectly, and the city of Vancouver becomes a symbol for isolation, homesickness, and quiet yearning. It's vulnerable without feeling self-indulgent. Loser is that low-key anthem for anyone feeling out of place or burnout. There's a DIY indie pop vibe to the production, reminiscent of bedroom pop artists. It's self-deprecating, but in a way that's kind of charming. Mark doesn't glamorize the struggle. He just puts it out there in all its awkward glory. The imperfections in his vocal delivery make it even more real. Watching TV is one of the smoothest tracks on the album, soulful, vibey, and effortlessly cool. The chemistry between Mark and Crush is magnetic. Crush adds his signature velvet tone to the hook while Mark keeps it grounded with reflective verses about comfort and routine in love. It's the kind of song you play late at night without even realizing it's been on loop for an hour. One of the most refined moments on the project. The next track is Plus 82 Pressing, and this one's for the fans, and for Korea. The title nods to South Korea's international calling code, and the track blends local flavor with global sound. The production fuses trap with traditional percussion samples in a subtle way, and Haechan's vocals bring warmth and texture. It's catchy without trying to be a hit, and Mark feels more confident here, proudly showing where he's from without pandering to stereotypes. 200 is one of those songs that sneaks up on you. It's introspective, soft-spoken, and lyrically abstract, more poetry than structured verse. Mark reflects on growth, distance, and time, and the instrumental is mellow but layered with synth pads and soft drums. There's an emotional weight here that's hard to describe. It's not sad, but it's not happy either.
Just honest.
Journey Mercies feels like a spiritual checkpoint. Over an almost gospel-tinged instrumental, Mark raps about surviving the whirlwind of life, fame, and expectations. The phrase Journey Mercies comes from Christian travel prayers, and it ties back to his family and upbringing. The lyrical maturity here is impressive. It's not just about where he's been, but about how he's changed. There's hope in the message, without ignoring the pain. Then we get Mom's Interlude. A voicemail from his mother becomes the emotional centerpiece of the album. It's short, simple, and beautifully human. In just over a minute, Mark anchors the entire album in gratitude and humility. It doesn't feel performative. It feels like something he put in for himself as much as for us. The last track, Too Much, is a bold choice. Too Much leans more into alt-hip-hop and ends the album on an energetic yet reflective note. Mark sounds liberated here, like he's shedding expectations and finally owning his voice. It's the most confident he's sounded on the entire project, and the way the track builds and expands feels like a perfect send-off. It doesn't tie things up in a neat bow, it just lets things be, and that's beautiful. The Firstfruit isn't just a solo debut, it's a statement of identity. Unlike many K-pop solo projects that hide behind trends or heavy production, Mark's album shines because of its honesty, storytelling, and cohesion. The flow between tracks is seamless, the mood shifts feel intentional, and there's real personality baked into every beat and bar. This isn't a collection of singles, it's a body of work. It may not be the flashiest or most chart-ready K-pop solo album, but it might be one of the most real. And for that, it's a triumph.